Hello again, Channel 9. I'm back again. This is Rory again. My voice is finally starting to give out here, so I can only do a couple more of these screencasts this week, I think. Fortunately, we're just about there. So this screencast, another Windows Mobile Development screencast focused on Windows Mobile 5.0, is all going to be about POOM. I love saying that. Which is the Pocket Outlook Object Model. And it is, as you may have suspected, the managed API for getting at Pocket Outlook. And it's really simple. It's a beautiful, beautiful API. So level 200 because, frankly, APIs just don't come this clean or this beautiful or this easy to use often. You could know nothing about programming. I could just take some random, fool weirdo off the street and teach him how to use POOM in 10 minutes or less. And well, okay, that's not really true. But I mean, if you're a developer, you're going to get it and you're going to like it. It's clean, it's good, it's wonderful. So to make it work, you got to have Visual Studio 2005, and as with the other Windows Mobile 5.0 screencasts, the ones that are specific to Windows Mobile 5.0, I should say, you definitely have to have these SDKs. So if you've been trying to do this stuff at home and it hasn't been working, and you're using Windows Mobile 5.0 features, like in the last screencast we looked at Snappy, the state notification API, it's probably because you don't have these SDKs installed. So I cannot stress enough that you need to have these SDKs. Actually, I guess I can stress enough. I think I just did. So let's consider that point stressed. Now the next thing that we're going to talk about here. So just general. There's a general approach to using POOM. So I call it general POOMing. And I'm just going to say this as many times as I can. I just love saying POOM. What you do is you create an instance of Outlook session, which is, as you might expect, just it's our handle to Outlook, and then you do some stuff with it and you dispose of the object. It's that simple. And unlike the desktop version of Outlook, when you're working with that object model, which is basically just a set of .NET wrappers around a COM API, this API is extraordinarily clean. Because I mean, on the desktop, there were years of APIs and everything going back, and we just kind of had to deal with what was already there. But in this case, it's almost like the team got to kind of not really start from scratch, but definitely start from a cleaner slate and produce just this fantastically beautiful API that's so easy to use. So you do some stuff, you dispose, then you're done. And it's really easy. We're going to go through this, and we'll work with contacts in this demo. But a lot of the same principles apply to calendar items and tasks, things like that. Okay, here we are, VS 2005 again, and I'm going to go up to File and New Project. And if you watched the Snappy demo, you know that I've switched from using my Pocket PC to using my smartphone, just to show that this stuff works just as well on smartphones as it does on Pocket PCs. And coding for a phone, frankly, is just a lot of fun. I mean, I grew up like a lot of you probably, with like rotary phones and then touchtone phones and phones that were actually attached to walls that you couldn't take with you different places. Then eventually I had a cell phone that was like this gigantic brick with a little satellite dish that required a car battery everywhere I went. And now finally I've got this cool little candy bar device, the iMate SP5, that I can code against, and I just love doing it. Just having that kind of power over the phone, it's pretty neat. So I will call this one Channel 9 POOM Demo, and then I will hit OK. And we'll get our standard interface here. Now, like I said, we're going to be using POOM to work with contact data. So I'm gonna create a little app here that's going to let us first list contacts that I have on my phone, and then I'm going to add an extra form to the application that we can use to add a new contact to my phone. So that'll be a nice little thing. And I'm going to head over to the Solution Explorer, and I'm going to add a couple references. The first one, and these come with the Windows Mobile 5.0 SDKs, is the Microsoft.Windows Mobile DLL, and then the Pocket Outlook DLL. Simple. Hit OK. And then I'm sure you're sick of this by now, and I should really just stick it in the template. But if you've been watching my screencasts, you know how I feel about leaving things called Form 1. Drives me insane. It makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up, which is difficult because I have a whole bunch of hair on the back of my neck, and it's like being kept down with this goopy gel stuff. So for it to stand up means that I'm pretty offended. Now I need to go down to the Properties window and modify the text of this form, and I will just call it POOM Demo. And I'm going to head over to the toolbox here. And look at this. I mean, I just have to show off for just a second here, show off the work that the Windows Mobile team did. I don't know why I feel this way about it, but the web browser control to me is like the index of just how incredible the Windows Mobile APIs have become, and the .NET Config framework. The idea that I've got a web browser control for a mobile phone and that I can drop it on a phone and use it in an application just like that still blows me away. And I've been doing this demo for months now, and it still blows me away. I kind of wonder sometimes if this is the way like all phone APIs are out there, you know, for competitors. I really don't think it is. I think this is something that's pretty cool that we've got going on here. But anyway, so I'm going to grab a list view here so that I can list all the contacts that are in my phone. I will call this list view list. Nice clean little name. I'll change full row select to true because that's the way I'm going to eventually want it. I'm going to change the view from large icon to details, and then I'm going to modify the columns collection. So I'm going to add a couple columns here, and the first one is going to be, let's see here, I will put in the first name of the contact, and then we'll have the last name. And actually, I think that these columns could stand to be a little wider. Yeah, 60 apiece. They could definitely be a bit wider. The resolution of my phone is QVGA, so it's 240 by 320. So I actually have a bit of leeway here, a bit of room to work with. So let me head over here first to my properties window and make sure that I have the proper form factor selected. And since it's a QVGA phone, I want a QVGA form. So I've got that now, and I've got a little more real estate, and I'm going to take advantage of it. So I'm going to select my my list view here again, go back to properties, and I'm going to change the doc to fill, and I'm going to modify my columns one more time, and I'll change the width here to let's see, half 240. I'll give it about 110 just because you got to account for, you know, margins and a little bit of stuff on the side and everything. This will be good enough. So I'll hit OK, and that's much more like it. So there we go. We've got some good space there now. And I'm going to add a button here, and I'll just call it Get Contacts. And since we're going to eventually have more functionality in this application, I'm going to put a little menu placeholder here. And now I'm going to fill in the code for Get Contacts. So I set the references to the assemblies that I need, and now I'm going to add the using statements I need. So using Microsoft. I can never spell the name of my own company. Not my company, like I own it, but you know, I work for it. Windows Mobile, and then using Microsoft.WindowsMobile.Pocket Outlook. And so here in menu item 1.click, actually I'll just write a little void here. So private void populate contact list. We'll be clean about it. Now, you remember the general paradigm to follow is create an instance of Outlook session, do stuff with it, and then stop. That's simple. So I'm going to say Outlook session OS equals new Outlook session, and then I'm going to say contact collection contacts equals os.contacts.items. Now, if you've coded for Outlook on the desktop, you're probably already thinking what I'm thinking, which is that this is nice, very, very clean. We don't have to deal with a whole lot of legacy COM stuff here. It's just a beautiful API. Then I'm going to iterate through each of the contacts in the contacts collection there. So for each contact in contacts, and then we will create a new list view item. So list view item LVI equals new list view item, and here. Since we have multiple columns, we can pass in an array of strings, and the way that it works is the 0th item, or I guess I'll just call it the first item in the array, corresponds to the leftmost column, and then the second item corresponds to the next leftmost column, and so on. So it's just kind of there's like a one-to-one correlation between the position of an item in the array and which column it's going to fill. So I will say new string array, and I will pass in contact dot first name, and then contact Actually, since I'm already breaking it up on multiple lines, contact.lastname. There we go. Nice, simple, and clean. And then we will say list.items.add LVI. And one thing that I should actually do, the very first thing I should do, is make sure that I have cleared the list items, just in case I want to refresh the list at some later point. And so now I will just add a call to that method, so populate contact list, and let's build, see if it works. The build succeeded. Hurrah, hurrah, everybody's happy. So I'm going to run this now, or at least I'm happy, after I change it from emulator to smartphone device. I'll hit start and head over to Sodi Pocket Controller, which I am still using, and wait for the application to start. And I have to specify that, yes, I would like to let this application run. And I'm going to take a sip of water here. I hope you couldn't hear any really gross, disgusting throat noises, because there's nothing worse than that. So now let's click on the Get Contacts item and see what happens. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, I don't know. It's always nice, though, when a demo does work. And it looks to me like it's working. So there we go. We see all of my contacts here, and I haven't displayed any secret information. And you know, I mean, these aren't like all my contacts. I mean, I know more people than this. I could put more contacts in here. It's just that every time I do this demo, people are like, man, you only know like 20 people, you're a total loser, Rory. And then that hurts my feelings, which is why I'm acting really defensive right now. But yeah, so I've got my different contacts in here, and it was really easy to get to them. I created that Outlook session, grabbed my contacts, and boom, that was it. I was done. So not complicated at all. Beautiful API. I keep saying that, but I'm a nerd, and when I see a beautiful API, I comment on it. I just can't help it. So the next thing I want to do for this application is make it possible to add another contact to the Outlook database. So I'm going to right-click here on my project, and I'm going to add a new Windows form. Hello, hello. Everybody's waiting. All the Channel 9ers are waiting. Hello. Okay, and I will call this Create Contact Form. And again, I'm going to set the form factor so that I get that QVGA advantage, since I bought the fancy phone. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a braggart. I know it. And I'm going to head over here to the toolbox. And I'm not going to put a bunch of labels on the form. Just in the interest of doing this quickly, I'm going to just grab 3 text boxes, the ones that we need. So I'll put in text box here, and I'll put a text box here, and I'll put a text box right here. And the first one will be for the name, the second one will be for the last name, and the third will be for the person's phone number. Not sure what I'm going to put in there, because I don't think that I know anybody who really wants to have their phone number revealed to a bunch of Channel 9ers. Not that there's anything wrong with Channel 9ers, just saying. So I'll make this item here save. And just in case the user wants to cancel at the last minute, we will add a cancel option here in our menu. Will be nice. And we're going to give this text box the name of first name. Geez, no, I want it. Okay, first name. There we go. And then last name. And then phone. So those are all named. And now when I hit save, I am going to create a new contact. And first I have to add a couple using statements. So using Microsoft. See, once again, I cannot spell this company's name. I mean, what does that mean? I'm sure that Freud would have had something interesting to say about that. Microsoft. Windows Mobile. Pocket Outlook. Creating a new contact, very simple. Contact equals new contact. Okay, that was hard. Contact dot first name equals first name dot text. Contact dot last name equals last name dot text, and then finally contact dot mobile telephone number equals phone dot text. Pretty simple, if you ask me. And you didn't, as far as I know. Maybe you did. Maybe you were sitting at home and you were like, "Hey, Rory, is that simple?" And I satisfied those people. Outlook session, OS equals new Outlook session, and then os.contacts.items.add contact, and then os.dispose, and then we'll close the form and head back over to our first form. That is it. Okay, so by now you've got to be sitting at home going, you know what, Rory's got a point. That is a beautiful API, and well, that's because I'm right. So we go back to main form .design here, and we're going to add a menu item of add new contact, and once we double click on this, we will say create contact form CCF equals new create contact form, and ccf.show dialog, and that's it. So now I am going to build and make sure that it builds. It does. I'm happy. That's great. And start the deploy. Head out to Pocket Controller. Wait to be notified that this application could destroy my phone. It won't, though. We all know that. And then wait for the application to load, and then show you just how neat this is. So I'm going to go to Menu, and then I'm going to add new contact. And here's our form, so I'm going to type in, I guess I'll call it channel 9. And, you know, don't try this phone number at home, 999-999-9999. I wonder if that goes anywhere or does anything. Anyway, so I'm going to save it. And now I'm going to get my contacts. And we'll scroll down until we see, where is it? There it is. So there is our Channel 9 contact created for us. So very cool. And let's see here if I can head out to Home and then bring up my contacts list. And I'll scroll down here. And there it is in my contacts list. And if I select it, we see that we have that information right there in the contact. So pretty neat. I mean, I think it's pretty neat. I'm a total dork, but I think it's really neat. So I'm going to stop the application. And that shows you how to get started with POOM. The general paradigm, one last time, is create that Outlook session object, and then do something with it, and then dispose of it. I didn't dispose of it here just because I forgot. I'll make sure to dispose of it now just to atone for my terrible transgression against my own rules. And that's it. And the reason that I dispose of the Outlook session is that, nice as this API is, I don't know what kind of weird, crazy, awesome voodoo magic is going on behind the scenes, or what sort of unmanaged resources are being allocated. So I just like to make sure that I've disposed of those just to be safe. And with that, I'm going to head back on over to the slideshow. And again, if you have any questions, my email address is roryb@microsoft.com. Or if you just want to say hi or ask for relationship advice or whatever, I don't really care. You can write to me and we can chat, and I'll be your friend if you're bored and lonely at 3 o'clock in the morning. Lord knows I'll be up editing this, and so feel free to email me. And otherwise, leave questions in the Channel 9 post area so that other people can benefit from seeing the question and the answer. And stay tuned for the next screencast, because in the next screencast, what I'm going to do is show you how to use the camera API, which lets you programmatically take photographs from within an application. And I'm going to be building on this example for that demo. So that should be pretty fun. So we'll take a look at that next. And thanks for watching another one of my screencasts.